because everyone knows that abortion is legal and available in Taiwan. So, well, if you ask most of Taiwanese people, nobody would imagine that we even have this kind of abortion-related criminal responsibility in our criminal code.
Welcome to this week's Taiwan Talk. I'm Tim Berge. We're kind of mixing things up this week, and we're going to be doing a dueling Taiwan Talk. And
Dueling?
What is that voice that I'm hearing?
Hello.
Hi, Hope. And I think there's an interesting anecdote, we could say, that started this conversation. You came barreling into my office and insisting that something had happened that I kind of looked at you like, what in the world are you talking about?
That's right. I went on social media and I found a very angry barrage of women coming on and talking about proposed changes to Taiwan's abortion law and penalties related to abortion.
And that's where it got confusing to me because abortion has always seemed to be legal and available. And you were saying that they're changing the law and making the penalties more strict. And I'm kind of wondering, what are you talking about?
And I did get a chance to speak to one of the women who had come forward on social media to complain about it.
Right.
And she clarified that these penalties, some of them had gone up 26 times.
That's a lot.
That's a lot indeed. And so we did a bit of checking, and Tim?
And that's where it really got confusing because we discovered there's actually two laws or two sets of laws which govern abortion in Taiwan. And what they're going to change was what is called the offenses of abortion. And this is what the part of the law which criminalizes abortion, basically.
Yes, there are two laws. There's the Genetic Health Act, and then there's
which makes it legal.
That's right, and the Criminal Code, which makes it illegal.
So to get some clarity on this issue, we were very lucky that we were able to speak with Audrey Lu. She's an attorney. She also has her own private practice, Ru Shi Chuan Law Office, which was set up in 2021. So we began by asking her to clarify the status of abortion here in Taiwan. Since my understanding is that abortion is readily available in Taiwan, but you're saying that the legal basis actually says otherwise. Is that correct?
Yes, because well, the criminal law says one thing, and but actually, yeah, it is pretty affordable and very common in Taiwan, and there is legal basis.
And that's done under another law, or?
Yes, that's under another law, and also wait a second.
That's okay.
I mean, that sounds really confusing.
Sorry, yeah, that's the genetic health law.
Right, okay, so you have two conflicting laws in this case? Is that the problem?
Because everyone knows that abortion is legal and available in Taiwan. So, well, if you ask most of Taiwanese people, nobody would imagine that it is we even have this kind of abortion-related criminal responsibility in our criminal code. So this is also why the reason the women's group are keep on supporting and claiming that these criminal laws should be abolished or should be removed long ago, because it is not used and it is in conflict, as you very correctly said. It is in conflict with the current genetic health law and the current understanding of most Taiwanese people.
Okay, I'd like to pick up and narrow down the focus. I mean, originally we called you to ask you to go into greater detail about reproductive rights, specifically abortion, which is a global hot button issue today, right?
Yeah.
Can you go into Taiwan's existing abortion law and put that up against the backdrop of women's rights in Taiwan?
Okay. I think the most disputed law is the Article 288 of the Criminal Code, which says that a pregnant woman who, by taking drugs or other means, causes her abortion, shall be sentenced in prison for more than 6 months, and should be fined for not more than $3,000. And also, it forbids in criminal code. It forbids a third person to help or provide assistance to a pregnant woman to do abortion, and even advertise on abortion for women. And all of those are with criminal responsibilities, which means you will be sentenced to death or will be fined to that. I think the original purpose of that, when the criminal code is drafted, what was in the legislation's mind is trying to protect the rights of the fetus and the pregnant women. But the mindset behind all this article is is quite clear, right? The message conveyed is that abortion is a crime. This is the principle. Abortion is a crime. And only for the purpose of preventing health or life-threatening dangers will the abortion become accepted exceptionally. So the Ministry of Justice suggested to rise the penalty and in these abortion-related crimes because according to what they are saying, they want to raise the birth rate of Taiwan because everybody knows we are facing a extremely low birth rate. But and also they are saying that they want to amend these abortion-related criminal laws in order to be in accordance with CEDAW because they want to protect pregnant women and to prevent illegal abortion. That is for the purpose of protecting women's rights. This is Ministry of Justice original position. What I'm saying is that these abortion-related laws are very seldom used in these days. Like back to the past 10 years, we have been searching in the database of the courts. Only less than 10 cases were applying those abortion-related laws. So what's the whole point? What's the whole point of amending it right now? I mean, if you want women to have more kids, if you want people to have more kids, what you should do is to offering a more friendly and healthy environment to support this decision, right? You need to provide more incentives to women instead of, rising the criminal responsibility and fining people more for doing abortion.
Okay, so do you actually see a time when Taiwan will eventually decriminalize abortion?
I think it will sometime, but it really takes time because I think from a government view, I think it's the easier way for them to claim that we do have this abortion law, we have some limited and even strict limited on abortion. So actually we are doing something to save our low birth rate. So I think this is their mindset. In my view, it will be lifted at some point. It's only a matter of time, but not in a very foreseeable future.
Do you have any fear that people may use this as the low birth rate and the fact that Taiwan needs to have more young children as a reason to start changing its attitude towards abortion? I mean, I'm American, and I've seen that happen in the United States, that people have changed their attitude due to these I don't want to say social movements, but these political movements.
Yeah, this is exactly why I'm pretty not so positive on this move, because I think this is exactly because people there is this atmosphere where people feel we are in danger. This low birth rate has become a national security problem, especially taking into account the political situation between Taiwan and China and also globally. So we need more people. So this kind of atmosphere is not very positive to the aim of removing all these limits to abortion. And also there is another point I want to mention, because my concern would be that under the atmosphere of misogyny, the atmosphere of, thinking that men and women are in conflict with one another and women are taking more and more rights from men. This kind of, abortion should be the responsibility of two person, right? Without a man, women won't get pregnant. So unexpected pregnancy is actually the responsibility of two persons. But under this kind of veto right, which means such as the spouse will have a right to veto or to object the abortion, it is saying that women cannot decide it for herself alone. Men will have a right to decide for her or to object on her rights. I think this is, I guess what I'm trying to say is, in this kind of atmosphere, men and women will become enemy of one another. This is not we are going as a feminist, because what we're aiming is a society for gender equality where men and women and all genders can work together. It's not that one gender will have power over the other gender.
Well, it seems like what you're describing just now is that the men have both power. Well, I don't know. That's not what I say.
Agency,
but, right? Not even agency, but that they have right but no responsibility, whereas women have all the responsibility
but
no rights.
Only responsibilities.
Right, and so that's
the risk.
That's where the equation's not
abortion.
fair.
Yeah, and it's not fair because the risk only lies on women.
Correct.
Because that's her body, and she is the one who takes all the risk. And what the man needs to do is only saying that, okay, I agree or I disagree.
On paper, women are doing very well in Taiwan, but at times, maybe in practice, that's not the case. Is that kind of what we're trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of concerns. I've interviewed women politicians in the past, and we're trying to aim for paper targets, but we're not doing anything that will reinforce women's rights. And we'd like to get your thoughts on why that's the case.
Yeah, I think it is a historical and a systematic problem, and also women's the difficulties women are facing is intertwined with other problems such as classes, races, and other reasons that make her a minority in society. I think, as you know, the concept of gender equality, including women's right and the right of LGBTQ, is pretty young. Even younger than our democracy in Taiwan. The martial law was only lifted in 1987. That's less than 40 years. Yeah, and only after the lifting of this martial law, Taiwanese started to have the fundamental right of such as like freedom of expression, freedom of association, and everything like that. So all these rights are fundamental and very crucial to the development of human rights, including women's rights and gender equality. And I know it sounds crazy, but you cannot imagine not very long ago, back to the 90s, before the civil code was even amended, it is a compulsory requirement that the husbands and fathers has many privileges in family law. For example, the choosing of family names, and the wife needs to live in the residence of the husband. And when getting divorced, husband or father get many privileges such as separation of marital properties and custody and everything. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that, yes, sometimes women still seem to be second class or suffer some disadvantages in this society, but it is a historical and systematic problem. It takes time. It takes time and effort. Yeah, without those efforts of many activists and sacrifice and suffering of many women, as well as other minorities, we won't have what we have right now.
Instead of backing away from these laws, the government's chosen to double down on them. Are we going to see another attempt to double down on this in the future?
No, I don't think so, because I think in the near future, they wouldn't dare to do that again. But what worries me is that this abortion issue, as you said, most Taiwanese think that abortion is legal. And, well, it's not as conflict or as sharp in the U.S. or other countries, although we do have, different kind of opinion. What worries me the most is that in the future, after this event, it will become a tool. Like a tool, a weapon between the war of gender. Just a little bit. I don't know whether this is a suitable example, but a little bit like the backlash after the Me Too movement. Men will be thinking that, okay, so now it's a women's world. Women are taking too much rights, and they are using these tools or rights against men and squeeze the space of men. This is what I'm worried the most.
We'd like to thank Audrey Lu of Ru Shichuan Law Office for sharing her time and knowledge to shed light on this important gender issue.
I think this discussion really highlighted for both of us the number of gender issues here in Taiwan that lay beyond the headlines and also kind of go beyond what everyone assumes about the situation here in Taiwan.
And we certainly hope to do that in future episodes of this special edition of Taiwan Talk.
I'm Tim Berge, and thanks a lot, Hope, for joining us.
Thank you very much. We'll see you again next time.